Hello, I'm Steve Graham and welcome to LTV News, where we bring you everything LaSalle, Philadelphia, and global news. We're bursting with news this episode as Brendan Rigney catches up with commuter connector and friend Tim Brubaker. And later, Corey Meredith will discuss the importance of young voters with students and a member of LaSalle's faculty. But first, let's see what's abuzz on campus. The annual health fair occurred on Saturday, October 5th at the shops at LaSalle, located on Chew and Worcester Streets. Students and neighbors alike were given the opportunity to learn more about public health and safety and were treated to a demonstration from the local fire department. Anna Gomez has the coverage.
On Saturday, October 4th, LaSalle University held its third annual health fair from noon until 3 p.m. The weather managed to hold out for a beautiful day for the event, organized by the community building team. Members of the community, LaSalle students, and faculty alike joined together for this event. Community members could receive health screenings, information on how to live a healthy lifestyle, and even join in on some activities that promote a healthy life. We talked to Melanie and Andre Nelson, volunteers at Northwest Victim Services.
It's a great experience overall. I mean, it's really a great feeling to help those in need and to really to help those within your community.
The afternoon was joined by numerous performances from LaSalle organizations, including the STEP team, pep band, and African drums and dance. LaSalle athletic teams and the nursing program also attended. Firemen from Engine 51 also stopped by for a visit to the health fair. Here's what Seth Berman had to say.
I like coming out to meet the people, see the kids. Kids are always great to have because they're always asking questions. They want to know. They want to see everything on the truck. The community, they get to know us a little bit better. We spread our message with fire prevention activities. A strong message about 911 calls. It's a great day to come out and just come out and have fun.
This year's health fair was the place to be. The atmosphere was upbeat, even festive. Children, students, and adults came together to make a positive impact on themselves and the ascending neighborhood around LaSalle University.
Thanks, Anna. LaSalle had some other visitors this week as well. October 7th marked National News Engagement Day, and the university celebrated by having Poynter Institute's former directing manager, Butch Ward, come and speak to students and prospective journalists. Corey Meredith had the chance to speak with Ward. Take a look.
On October 7th, Butch Ward, former managing director of the Poynter Institute and previous reporter for both the Philadelphia Inquirer and Baltimore News America, came and spoke to students about the importance of engagement with the news, stressing ways college students can stay connected and up to date.
What we want to talk about today is keeping up with news and keeping up with current events as a way to make us better citizens.
Get smarter. If we begin to follow the news and get smarter about what's going on in our world, we're capable of joining that conversation in 1,000 different ways. Social media is making it possible for us to engage with people all over the world every day, really smartly, if we choose to do it. And we can take our discourse back. I want to pay more attention to news because I care. I care. I don't want to leave it up to somebody else to do it. I want to do it. 2, I want to participate in this democracy, and that requires me to be smart. And 3, I want to help us become a more collaborative instead of competitive society. Bring it to yourself. Bring the news to you.
Ward explains ways that we can bring the news to us by teaching us how to create a Facebook list.
Down here in the lower left-hand corner, interest. You want to add one. You want to add an interest. And you're going to create a list. News. I want to create a news list.
Other ways that we can bring the news to us is through Twitter. Ward also shares ways of checking stories to make sure that they're accurate. And he tells a story about how effective the news can be.
People responded. People started to send money. One woman came with $200 worth of groceries, just put them inside his hotel room and left. She didn't even tell them the name. This is what happens when we follow. We get a little smarter. We have a story we can tell a friend. All these people doing something else thanks to the economy, and yet happy to have jobs. It's not a bad story to be able to share with them and trying to sound smart about an issue, but it takes some effort.
Reporter Corey Meredith got a chance to sit down and talk with Butch Ward to see what National News Engagement Day really is all about.
National News Engagement Day, while it is a made-up holiday, should we say, I think the reason for it is important, that it's becoming increasingly clear that many, many Americans are not very engaged in following news. And it's the kind of habit, I think, that benefits us in our personal lives, in our civic lives. We can make differences as citizens and as people in this community, but we need to know what we're talking about. And the best way I know of to know what we're talking about is to follow news, to learn from the people whose job it is to gather information, make sure it's true, and present it to us in a way that we can use to make our lives better.
On Thursday, October 9th, LaSalle alum and television producer Mike Malik returned to LaSalle University to speak with students studying communication. After discussing his experiences on production sets of shows such as Pornography and Ghost Hunters, I got the chance to speak with him about his decision to become a TV producer.
So Mike, as you go from, production company to production company on all these different shows, what really makes a good company? Like, what do you see in a specific company compared to the others that you're impressed by?
I think what really makes a good company is like the heads of the company when they take care of their crew. Like, it sounds really like minute, but like if they have like a good enough budget for lunches, like that's great. Like a hot lunch every day goes a long way. But like something that really takes care of their crew, like always make sure we stay in like, especially like on the show I'm on now, like good hotels, and always like, doesn't kind of really overwork people. Like that really takes care of them, make sure that like they're well rested and just like have a good life on the road and stuff like that. Is just kind of what I think makes a good company.
And what is like the biggest reward you get out of this job? Like, how do you know that you chose the right field?
I think the biggest reward is the fact that I get to go to work every day and I have fun. Like truthfully, like I look forward going to it. Like I don't mind like if it's something doing extra work. Like, oh, somebody's sick on my crew, so I have to take him to the doctor in the morning. Like, or like just hanging out late at night, like not getting sleep because when we get back, we everybody just wants to be social. Just the fact that I enjoy it and I have fun every day is kind of the most rewarding thing that I want to keep doing it.
And are you like perfectly content with where you're at now, or do you see yourself moving forward in your career?
I mean, I'm content where I am right now. I mean, obviously want to strive to do more and more. Like I'd love to create my own show one day or just be a showrunner. But like I love field producing. I love being out in the field. I love kind of making the decisions and just kind of making sure everybody's happy.
What a guy. We're coming close to our first commercial break, and when we come back, Madison Elliott will talk Philly news. But first, we'll turn it over to Brendan Rigney, who tracked down and pestered his dear friend Tim Brubaker, a commuter connector with some vibrant and colorful things to say. Let's take a look at what Brendan dug up.
Hi, Brendan Rigney here with my friend and colleague, Tim Brubaker, who is a commuter connector, and he's also on the Frisbee team. So Tim, welcome to the show. How are you doing today?
I'm doing pretty good. How are you, Brendan?
I'm fantastic right now. So we're going to get right into it. Most people don't actually know what a CC is, a commuter connector. So could you just walk me through a typical day in the life of a commuter connector?
Sure. We're like commuter RAs is how I like to say it. So on a day-to-day basis, I have office hours. So in the commuter TV lounge, I kind of just hang out there for any of my mentees. If they need to come and see me, that's time for that. We try to have a one-on-one with all of our mentees, kind of talk through, see how their year's going. And then I send out a weekly email, and on that we just kind of host events throughout the semester, focusing on different areas, social, academic, things like that, and just kind of help the different commuters stay on campus and get involved.
So, but where's the action? Where's the pizzazz?
Probably the events. I mean, our events are definitely growing. We've been getting a lot of people. Waffle Wednesday.
Waffle Wednesday.
Everybody loves Waffle Wednesday. Like 4 straight hours of free waffles. So that's pizzazz.
That's just a lot of waffles, Tim.
I love waffles.
I mean, to each his own, I suppose. So can you tell me the most exciting CC experience? Like I'm thinking like craziest thing that's ever happened as a CC.
Well, as far as the mentorship, there hasn't been a whole lot. I mean, just kind of help me. Like I've tutored a few people in math, so that's exciting for me as a math major. I like numbers. Anytime I can work with them, that's cool. I also deal with the reward system, so I get to set up whole spreadsheets of calculating points and distributing and everything. And for me, that's a lot of fun.
This back and forth right now. This reminds me a lot of you would be Will Ferrell from The Other Guys, and I would be Mark Wahlberg. because you are all about the numbers, and I just want to do exciting things with my life and not sit in an office all day. But, you know, like I said, teach his own. I respect that, I guess. It's funny you bring up events. I'm having tons of trouble right now planning events for my residents as an RA. Do you have any tips to me in terms of planning programs?
Always say there's free food.
Always free food, got it.
The guaranteed thing on our posters, we put free food. That gets people there.
Do you just put a poster of the words free food?
We haven't, but I'm sure that would work just as well.
That's understandable. So we're going to move on from being a commuter connector. Also on Club Ultimate, which I am an infrequent member of, have a lot of things going on constantly, but I love it anyway. It's a great sport. It's a great way to stay in shape, by the way, as you can tell, obviously. So Tim, how's the new year treating? I know the season's still kind of young, so it's hard to really evaluate the team, but from right now, do you think the team is where it could be? Where it should be, excuse me.
Yeah, definitely think it should be. Last year, we actually had no females on the team, even though we were a mixed team, and we actually already have 3 this year, so that's awesome. And as far as our freshmen, none of them had played before, and they're all playing really well considering. So I think that's really great. We actually just went to a tournament and had 3 freshmen playing with no subs, and they played well, so it's really exciting.
So if you had to pick one returning member of the Frisbee team, that would be your favorite. Who would it be, Tim?
I'm going to say that Darnell's going to hate me for this, but probably Fritz.
Matt Fritz. Good for Matt Fritz. I was actually hoping you were going to say me. I was really almost expecting it.
Well, you didn't say infrequent returning member.
I thought that didn't matter. I thought I should have been at the top of your list anyway. But I guess I'll just brush it off. I don't really know how to recover from that, but we'll see what happens. So graduation's coming up. You're a senior this year. Do you have any plans for after graduation?
Yeah, I work with the MLU, which is Major League Ultimate. So I've actually turned my club sport into a job. And I do stats for them. So as you can see, the numbers are just everywhere when it comes to me. And it's a pretty awesome job. I've gone up and down the East Coast working with that, seeing the teams, meeting the players. So that's definitely my plan to continue with that.
So you actually found a job, somehow. You actually found a job that combines your love of all things math with your love of all things Frisbee?
Yes, it's pretty amazing and awesome.
You're a very fortunate guy, you know that? So last question. This is a doozy. What is your favorite word?
My favorite word is cerebral. Now, before you even go into the definition of the word, just say it.
Cerebral.
Yeah, I like that whole beginning.
So you like the word because of how it sounds and not the definition of the word.
The best part about the word is I like both parts, the way it sounds and the definition. I'm
going to be completely honest. I'm not surprised at all that you chose the word cerebral between Frisbee and mathematics, and that's not an insult. Hey, relax. I don't mean anything bad by it. I'm just saying I'm not surprised. Okay. So one final thing I want to get to. If you could be any type of tree, what type of tree would you be? We've had really interesting response last week or 2 weeks ago with Muffy. Muffy Torres was on the show, and she said a strong oak tree.
Strong.
Now, would you say that you're a strong oak, Tim, or are you more of a ficus, maybe a cactus?
I'm not too good with my trees, but I think I might be like a weeping willow.
A weeping willow?
Yeah, but not because of the weeping part. I just feel like they seem like a very chill tree. Like they're just kind of they're not trying to stand up real tall. They're just kind of chilling. Just come under me if you want, get some shade.
You know what? I can actually see that. Muffy just said oak, and then that was it. So at least this time I have an explanation as to where your train of thought was going, and I can legitimately see you as a weeping willow, and I'm not sure.
Thank you.
If it is a compliment. Okay,
yes.
Cool. Well, that's all we have right now. We're going to post a follow-up to this interview online through Twitter, so you can check that out on our Twitter. Thank you for stopping by, and we'll be right back after this commercial break.
There's something for everyone at LaSalle TV.
I watch LaSalle TV.
I watch LaSalle TV.
The baseball team watches LaSalle TV.
I watch LaSalle TV.
I watch LaSalle TV.
Miro televisión de LaSalle.
Vedo io la televisione LaSalle.
Я дивлюсь ласальську телевізію і дуже вона мене цікавить.
我睇電視. And you can too. Follow us, like us, and watch us on LaSalle TV.
Hello, Madison Elliott here. Let's talk Philly. The newest feature to hit Philadelphia opened October 2nd as the Schuylkill Banks Boardwalk that stretches from Locust Street to the South Street Bridge was officially opened. The 2,000-foot-long tourist attraction has fantastic views of University City and Center City and is perfect for joggers seeking a scenic run and an urban playground. The boardwalk connects to the already popular Kelly Drive that passes the Art Museum and Boathouse Row. In total, according to U.S. Representative Chaka Fattah, $18 million was spent to make the city over again. There are plans to extend it even further in 2015, down to Christian Street. Beginning in the winter of 2015, passengers of all forms of SEPTA transportation will have to ditch their coins and switch to the soon-to-be brand-new SEPTA key cards. The new form of payment is expected to be made available to the general public around February and March of the upcoming year. According to SEPTA's website, the new payment technology will allow direct fare payment with a debit, credit, and a variety of other payment cards. This fall, riders will see the new installation of the turnstiles and vending equipment. I headed to South Philadelphia along with Brendan to get our own glimpse of the South Street Blocktoberfest on October 12th. Let's just say we ran into some familiar faces and enjoyed the festivities of the eventful day. Take a look.
The annual Blocktoberfest has been a hit on the 1400 block of South Street for the past 5 years, featuring great music, fantastic food trucks, local merchants, and good thirst-quenching drinks. This festival brings people from all over, including right here at LaSalle.
Hello, I'm reporter Madison Elliott, and we're here today at South Street's Blocktoberfest, and we came across fellow LaSallians. So, what are you guys doing here today?
Well, actually, we just thought we were riding bikes through the city, and we saw the big commotion going on, so we thought we'd stop by because we heard all the bands playing. Sooner or later, I ran into more people from LaSalle, so it's a fun time.
This festival is also a great way to give back to the city. Not only does it bring business to the area, but all money spent on buying the 25 different variety of drinks was donated back into the neighborhood. This festival was for all ages, young and old, and it was evident that people were having a good time.
It's a good atmosphere, it's a fun time to hang out down here.
Have you gotten to try any of the food yet?
I have not. Have I? I had coffee, that's about it. I'm very excited to try the food. There's a bunch of food courts, I'm so excited to go down and try out the food though.
What do you think you're going to try?
Anything pulled pork.
Ooh, that sounds good. Well, do you like the music? They have some great bands going on today, don't they?
I love the music. The music, especially with the horns, sound great live. Yeah. It makes it for a really fun time.
Have you been dancing a lot?
Oh, so much. Oh, so much.
Oh, jeez, unwavering.
More of a showstopper than anything, I think. Yeah, just a people pleaser. I have to dance, or else the people get mad. So.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
And what else are you guys going to do while you're here?
I'm not sure. I think there's so many options, so many stores are outside on the curb, just kind of like perusing all the stores down here because I don't get many opportunities to come down to South Street.
And so would you recommend this to other people who want to come out? Yeah?
Absolutely.
Great way to experience the city?
Yeah, seriously, on great days like this.
Okay.
Even though it was a rainy day, the festival completed its 6th successful year. The nonprofit event was able to donate its proceeds to education, green space, and public safety issues in the district. Be sure to keep an eye out for other fall festivals like this. For LTV News, I'm reporter Madison Elliott.
We're going to take another quick break, but when we come back, Steve will bring you some global news before Corey Meredith sits down with her debate panel. Stay tuned.
You tired of your boring life? Nothing exciting going on anymore? Sick of only doing what you have to do? Tired of the mundane routine? Well, hold up. We have the cure for you. That's right, LaSalle TV. With sports, news, game shows, and more, you'll be sure to find exactly what you've been needing. LaSalle TV. We know you watch.
Welcome back. Let's see what's happening around the world. This is sure to give you nightmares. ABC News reported on October 13th, that's appropriate, that small towns in California have been home to sightings of clowns with weapons. Over 20 clowns have been seen in Bakersfield, Wasco, and Delano, California. There have been multiple accounts on Twitter and Instagram that appear to have some link to these sightings, but the police are still investigating. Some scary stuff. For the past 100 years, the Eiffel Tower in Paris, France has stood tall overlooking the beautiful valleys and architecture of the Romantic city. This week, the French government decided to share the breathtaking view with the people by opening a clear observation deck at the top of the iconic building. The renovation allows people the opportunity to experience the city and culture on a whole new level. The tower now stands 190 feet in the air. While some people are using the deck to appreciate the beauty of France, most people are using the new attraction for selfies to capture the excitement. Well, that does it for Global News. Now we're going to send it over to Corey, who sits with some members of the LaSallian community to get their take on the importance of young voters with this edition of the debate panel.
Thanks, Steve. Today we're here with political science professor Dr. Michael Boyle, as well as Gavin Lichtenstein and the head of the LaSalle College Republicans, Mike Cooney. Thank you guys for coming.
Thank you.
So today we're just going to start off with talking about a little bit about the coming up election between Tom Corbett and Tom Wolf, and then we're going to finish off with saying why younger people should vote, how to do that, and a little bit about the importance of it. So Wolf is currently in the lead by a striking 15.1 spread or greater. Do you guys see things changing in the near future, and does Corbett even have a chance to win this race?
No, I do not believe so. He hurt himself with state House Republicans and state Senate Republicans in that he said that he was going to pass a bipartisan budget that included school funding, and then he went, and when it came to his desk, he decided not to sign it. Then he's having problems in the cities with not giving them more funding in general. And another thing is that he's trying to cut school teacher pensions, and that's making unions mad, so he doesn't have the union backings. So with those three together, he doesn't have a shot.
I mean, I think that's largely true. If you take a look at polling, if you look at any poll with a 3 to 4% margin of error, you can say it's effectively too close to call. Once you have 15 to 20 points, as we have with Corbett and Wolf, it's such a lead that you're not going to see it. And part of the problem is that he's made a lot of powerful enemies. A lot of people are going to come out to vote against Corbett, not so much for Wolf, which is a situation he does not want. Right?
And you know, the one thing I really think that people can appreciate about Wolf is he has that style to him that he doesn't come across as a politician. Right now, in the past week, he has had both Hillary Clinton and Michelle Obama in Philadelphia. Now, Philadelphia, he already has the vote captured. But he's doing a great job of really focusing on women because, you know what, with Corbett's cuts on Medicaid and especially on Corbett's cuts on what he's done for women, you know, he's really done Wolf has done a great job of really capturing the women's vote again. And where he leads at 59 to 34. I think Wolf has done a great job by really reconnecting the women's vote and the power of the women's vote.
Yeah, the Morning Call News did a poll and nearly 22% of Republicans are deserting Corbett. And one of the main reasons is because he has lacked to uphold his political agenda. Do you guys agree with this statement, and do you think that the voters are making the right decision?
I mean, I for myself am not sure. I don't agree with either candidate, so I mean, I don't really have a strong opinion. I mean, in terms of the fact that I think he's going to lose, I think they are making a strong decision because he hasn't upheld his end of the bargain, and he has been making his own fellow Republicans angry. And once you do that, you know, you've pretty much lost it.
Yeah, I mean, I'll stay out of saying whether the voters are making a good or a bad decision, but I will say that if you go back and look at it, when any candidate begins to lose that percentage of their own base, it's extraordinarily difficult for them to win an election, in part because so many of our elections require you to drive out your own party loyalists and base. And if you start to have that level of defection, just the math adds up to making it extraordinarily difficult for you to be able to win.
I mean, what we've seen and what you both have discussed is the cuts that Corbett has whipped on the Pennsylvanians. These are wounds that can't be healed overnight. It's going to take a lot from Wolf in really capturing back Pennsylvanians and really making the Keystone State pride again. And you know, these are not easy tasks, but I really think going forward that Wolf is going to have his challenges, and it'll be interesting to see where his approval rating goes being compared to Corbett. But you know what, I think the way that this election is going, you know, I always hate saying it's not over till it's over, but this one really seems like a 15.1 lead. He's leading Philadelphia by 40%. These are numbers that can't be made up overnight.
Lastly, guys, how do you view the young people voting, and how do you think we should get them out there and the significance of it, especially for this election?
I mean, I feel like young people are getting discouraged by what they see on the news. When they see all these negative things about, you know, the lack of bipartisanship, they basically think, okay, well, you know, I can't change this. You know, they're going to do the same thing. They're going to act in the same way. But I mean, the biggest part that I think we need to do is we need to get it into mass media. Facebook, Twitter, we have to put it where the young people are. The young people are not the ones opening doors for literature. They're not the ones answering the phones for candidates. You know, that's for the older people. So, I mean, I just think that in order to get them up on the issues, you have to put it where they're going, and they're all going to mass media and technology.
I think it's extraordinarily important that young people come out to vote for a couple reasons. I mean, one of them is that we do have a crisis in this country of young people kind of checking out of the electoral system. And that is extraordinarily bad for our democracy because we require young people to get involved. We require new ideas. I mean, most of the new ideas come from young people. But the second thing is I think it's a mistake on behalf of young people because if you go back and look at things, the debates that we're going to have in the future, what happens to Social Security? What happens to Medicare? What's going to happen to student loan interest rates? These are all things that are going to affect students. And as I like to say to students, there's a wonderful quote from Lenin where he said, you know, you may not be interested in war, but war, my friend, is interested in you. Well, to young people, I say, you may not be interested in politics, but politics, my friend, is interested in you. And it has real consequences for your pocketbook, whether you have Social Security, whether you have student loans in 5 to 10 years. And that's something that should make young people look at what candidates are saying and get out to the polls and vote.
I mean, kind of going off what Mike has started with, you know, we're in a time where, you know, social media, when used in the right times, candidates are using social media in small enough districts to win. I mean, right now I'm looking at the U.S. Congress, Gwen Graham. She's connecting with voters. She's knocking on doors, and we really think that we can win the seat in Florida because of it.
Well, thank you, Gavin, Mike, and Dr. Boyle. We're going to send it back to Madison with a few closing words.
Thanks, Corey. That's all that we have time for you this episode. Be sure to find us on the web as well as the rest of LaSalle TV on Facebook at facebook.com/LaSalleTV. You can tweet at us at LaSalle TV Philly or email us your thoughts at lasalletv@lasalle.edu. If you missed the scoop and want to see it, you can find episodes on YouTube at youtube.com/LaSalle56. Until next time, for Steve, Corey, and the entire LTV News crew, I'm Madison Elliott. Never stop exploring.